If you wouldn't follow yourself, why should anyone else? The first person you should lead is yourself. Don't wait until the pressure's on to make a character choice. If you become the leader you ought to be on the inside, you will become the leader you want to be on the outside. Quality number 15, relationships. The 15th quality of a leader is that great leaders relate well with people. Teddy Roosevelt said the most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. Now watch this next paragraph. The ability to work with people and develop relationships is absolutely indispensable to effective leadership. According to the May 1991 issue of Executive Female Magazine, a survey was taken of employers asking the top 3 traits they desired in employees. Number 1 on the list was the ability to relate with people. 84% responded that they sought good interpersonal skills. Only 40% listed education and experience in their top 3. And if employees need good people skills, think about how much more critical these skills are for leaders. So, let me give you some people principles for leaders. People principles like the big picture principle. Oh, I love this one. The big picture principle says, the entire population of the universe, with one trifling exception, is composed of others. Mark and I have 3 grandchildren, and the 2 oldest are granddaughters. Little Madeline is 3 years old, and little Hannah will be 3 years old in January. And speaking as a grandparent, they are truly the 2 smartest grandkids I've ever seen, without any bias or prejudice. I just spent a week with them. Can I tell you something? They're 3 years old. Not one time in my whole week with them did they come up to me and say, Papa, what can I do for you? No one time. Not one time did Madeline or Hannah get up in the morning with on the top of their agenda to add value to me. You know what? Those 2 3-year-olds, all day long, it's all about them. I want this and I want to do that. Hey, and you know what? Papa just did whatever they wanted. Why not? I'm a grandpa. You see, I understand that they're 3 years old. And I understand for a 3-year-old, it's all about them. Do you know what's sad? Is 30-year-olds. Hello. What's sad is 30-year-old people. And it's still all about them. Wow. I see it happen all the time. And the big picture principle said it isn't all about you. The big picture principle says with just one trifling exception, the world is composed of other people. Albert Einstein put it this way. Strange is our situation here upon earth. Each of us comes for a short visit, not knowing why, yet sometimes seeming to divine a purpose. From the standpoint of daily life, however, there is one thing we do know, that man is here for the sake of other men. That's the big picture principle. We are here for the sake of others. But let me give you another people principle. It's the charisma principle. The charisma principle basically says people are interested in the person who is interested in them. You see, charisma is not a personality. People all the time say, well, I just wish I had a charismatic personality. Charisma is not a personality. It's an attitude. It's how you think. Leroy H. Kurtz of General Motors said, The fields of industry are strewn with the bones of those organizations whose leadership became infested with dry rot, who believed in taking instead of giving, who didn't realize that the only assets that could not be replaced easily were the human ones. People respect a leader who keeps their interest in mind. If your focus is on what you can put into people rather than what you can get out of them, they'll love and respect you. And these create a great foundation for building relationships. Let me give you another people principle, since we're talking about relationships as the quality of great leaders. It's the exchange principle. The exchange principle says, instead of putting others in their place, put yourself in their place. Here's what I know. I know that leaders know the place where they are at this moment. I mean, they know, you ask a leader, where are you? A leader can tell you where they are. They always have an understanding where they are. Leaders know the place where they are at this moment. And leaders know the place where their people are at this moment. Boy, I'm going to build on this now. And I would like to have leaders know the place where their people should be in the future. And knowing where you are as a leader, where your people are as a leader, and where they should be as a leader, this is known as the leader's perspective. A leader's perspective. A leader's perspective basically says that you know where you are, you know where your people are, you know where they should be. That's how a leader sees it. This threefold perspective enables a leader to be in three places. Remember, we're the exchange principle. Instead of putting people in their place, put yourself in their place. The threefold perspective of what I just gave you, knowing where your people are, knowing where you are, and knowing where your people should be, enables a leader to be in three places. Number one, the people's place. This allows the leader to see what people see and feel what the people feel. Or let me put it this way. If I go alone, I can start my day, but if I travel with another, I must wait until that person is ready. That's the people's place. But another perspective is the leader's place. The leader's place expects the leader to be an example for the people to follow and to lead with confidence and credibility. It's the difference between being a travel agent and a tour guide. The travel agent sends you places they've never been. Don't you know leaders just like that? Oh, I think it'll be great for you. Bon voyage. No, you want to be a tour guide. And then third perspective is the future place, which calls for the leader to cast a clear vision of the future and to take the journey with people. Here's what I want you to know about relationships. This next statement, underline it, because it's true. Most people can trace their successes and failures to the relationships in their lives. In fact, Clifton and Nelson say relationships help us define who we are and what we become. Let me just read this to you in closing on relationships. In a short story titled The Capital of the World, Hemingway tells about a father and a teenage son, Paco, whose relationship was broken. And after the son runs away from home, the father begins a long journey to search for him. Finally, as a last resort, the man puts an ad in the local newspaper of Madrid. It reads, "Dear Paco, meet me in front of the newspaper office tomorrow at noon. All is forgiven. I love you." The next morning in front of the newspaper office, there were 800 men named Paco, desiring to restore a broken relationship. Never underestimate the power of a relationship in a person's life. And leaders are good with people.